Afternoon, folks. Scott here at Watsway Farms. Thanks for tuning in for another one of our farm videos. So today's video is actually wasn't expecting to be shooting any footage today, but as life on the farm goes, you just never know sometimes how each day is going to turn out. So what had happened was, so today is April the 6th, and those of y'all have been following along on my channel know that we've ordered our first batch of broiler chickens, Cornish cross meat chickens for the year. Our plan is we're going to try to do right in the 400 total bird range this year in batches of around 60 starting now, and then every 5 weeks getting another batch and till the end of summer. And the thought being that they're 3 weeks in a brooder, 5 weeks out on pasture, so we'll have them in the brooder for the 3 weeks, and then, like I said, every 5 weeks, once the chicken tractors are empty, we will be ready to move the next batch from the brooder into the chicken tractor. So what had originally happened was we had originally wanted today, April the 6th, to be the day we got the first batch of chickens, but when we ordered them, we order them from our local feed store, who's actually sourcing them from a local hatchery right here in Alabama. I know a lot of people use the big ones like Murray McMurray, and no bad things to say about any of them. I have no experience with them other than given the opportunity to buy local. Even if I have to pay a little bit more, I always buy local. And in this case, not only did I not have to buy more, I got to buy local. So from basically two local sources, my local feed store and the local hatchery here in northern Alabama. So to me, that's a win-win. But originally when we ordered the chickens, like I was saying, this first batch of chicks, the feed store lady that we deal with said that they would be hatched on April the 6th, and then we'd be ready to pick them up on April the 8th, Friday, 2 days later. So no big deal. So we got a call last night from her, and she said, guess what? Your chicks will be here tomorrow. So back to April the 6th. So don't know what happened there, but so we rushed over here yesterday evening after work and tried to get everything all set up and ready for them this morning. Mrs. Watsway Farms, after taking the little ones to school, went to the feed store to pick them up, and the lady at the feed store said for whatever reason she went to the post office and they weren't there. She needed to get in touch with a sales rep and see what was going on. But I figured since we were set up and ready for them anyway, I will show you what we got, and then maybe continue the video once they get here. When that'll be, I don't know. I'm guessing maybe the notification wasn't that the chicks were ready. We're going to be ready. Maybe the wrong message went out. Just let me know that they're hatched and still on schedule for Friday, but I don't know. But either way, let me show you our setup. So those of y'all that have been following along saw how I built this brooder. If you didn't watch that, I highly encourage you to check it out. It turned out to be a pretty decent video. And then I originally said we were going to put this brooder up next to the pump shed here on the pasture, and then I think I said in the video we're actually going to move it to our house. We don't live here on the farm yet. We hope to one day, but with the building market, lumber and everything being so crazy, we've decided to hold tight where we're at, and so we actually live in a house just a few miles from here. And we originally said, we'll put the brooder there, raise the chicks there, that way we can watch them. But if I put it there, it'd have to be out on our back porch deck, and for the same reason I want to leave it here on the farm, we decided to move it in here. And the reason is, though, even though this brooder is covered with probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches of overhang, this time of year especially, I mean, we're just, the weather's just a lot of rain and a lot of blowing rain, and my fear was that just the chicks would get too wet. They would blow in there. So we moved it into this, what I call my tractor shed. The tractor is usually parked right here. We put the ATV right here, and then if we have extra pig feed, it goes there. So it's a kind of just a little general purpose building. It was here when we got the farm, and we've used it ever since. So now it's also going to be home to the chicken brooder until maybe one of these days I can actually get me a barn built. Okay, so here's the inside set up, ready to go. And we did not go with heat lamps for several reasons. I went with these chicken brooder heating plates. I think I got them from Premier One. They weren't cheap by any means. This is the large one that's supposed to be good for up to 50 to 60 birds. And this is the small one, the medium one, that's supposed to be for 20 to 30. So for our batch, this should be plenty. Now the reason I went with these versus the just traditional little lamp that you hang is, one, there's just not a lot of clearance between the top of this and the bottom to raise and lower it to monitor the heat better. And the other reason is I just don't have to worry about a fire, I guess, hazard. These things here are, I'm not going to come out here and find this thing on fire, which, you know, there's not a whole lot for in this side, this my trailer, my tractor storage here to burn, but you know, the tractor does get parked in here, my ATV gets parked in here, so you know, I don't want to risk it. And the other reason is that over time these things should pay for themselves because they use significantly less electricity than those heat lamps. Now what I did do is also spring for this little output controller, and I'm glad I did. As you'll see right now, I've got it set on number 5. When I had this thing full on, I bought a couple of these little just temperature gauges from Lowe's, and when that thing's on full, it's about 110 degrees underneath there, so probably can't read that, but it's right at about 95, maybe 97. But anyway, what I read was for the first week you want them at 95, so setting that thing on 5, which is just to control the output, we'll keep it at right at 95, so they've got room to get underneath there and get hot. Now these little, and I don't know if this is the right height or not, but these little yellow pegs here easily move up and down, so we can adjust the height of that, make it small, closer to the ground if needed, or raise it up is if there's not enough space. So when we got this little mini bulk feeder, I think that thing holds 5 or 10 pounds of food. I don't know. We actually got 2 of these, but I think one shall be sufficient for these birds. If we find that they're not, I can always put the other one in here. And then the water, which we haven't put the water in yet, we've got this little, we get 2 of them. We got one here and then the one over here, and it just gravity fed this little tube that runs behind it. And then this one, little tube runs up, and we bought these, ordered these from, got the bucket from as well, this Wright Farm Products Poultry Supplies, y'all, in, what is that, Saltillo, Texas. I went ahead and bought the bucket from them as well. It actually wasn't too much more than just buying a bucket, but I wasn't sure of all these fittings to put this together, so I probably could have made the bucket myself, but for a few extra bucks they put it together. So fill this up with water, run through the tubes, and it'll keep their waters fill. That'll be full feed. You know, they'll get all the feed. We are doing basically an organic, non-GMO feed. We're not certified or anything like that, but that is what we're gonna feed the chicks. And I actually think this is gonna work pretty well. The only thing I don't know, this is a little bit of an uphill climb. I don't know if, I think the weight of the water all the way up here will push it down, but if not, I can just put a block under here and raise this up a little bit more. I was originally gonna hang like a shelf hanger and set the bucket on it, but I decided till I figure this out, better to make this thing somewhat flexible. So anyway, so there you have it. This is our chicken brooder plugged in, ready to go for the first batch of chickens. Man, couldn't get that out, but anyway, so like I said, our plan is every 5 weeks to get 60 more and then put them out on the pasture at 3 weeks, process them at 8. These first couple of batches we'll keep for ourselves and our family as we kind of learn the process, but obviously we plan on adding pasture poultry to our farm enterprise in the very near future. So stick around, we'll be back once we actually do have chicks and are ready to load them up and get these things going. Okay, so it's the next day, next afternoon actually, and the baby chicks did arrive today. And what we found out was, I guess they were supposed to arrive yesterday, but they got stuck, I guess at a distribution point or handoff point or something between the hatchery, which is really by car 3 or 4 hours from here, not terribly far, and then Montgomery, Alabama, which is about 35 minutes from here. But I guess they spent an extra day in the box there in Montgomery. They were picked up this morning, and they're all in the brooder now. Due to the day job, I wasn't able to get any footage of any of that. Mrs. Wattsway Farms took care of all of it. We are a little concerned about what them spending that extra day in a box may due to the mortality rate that we're going to experience out of this. I hope that it won't have any negative impact. We'll see. I mean, one thing we like about the way we buy them, they do come with a 72-hour guarantee, which I don't know of any other hatchery that does that. And I honestly don't know if that's just what my local feed store that we're buying them from offered us, or if that's what the hatchery they buy from gives. I don't know, but either way I'll take it. But they're all in there, and I don't know if you can kind of maybe hear them behind me. I don't know if that's showing up or not, but let's have a look. Okay, so here they are. They get 65 baby chicks here showing up on day one of the Wattsway Farms. Now I think what's find interesting is they've got 2 of these little brooder heating plates, and it looks like, I lift it up, you can see the bulk of them are under this one and not that one, the large one. So they're the same brooder plate. One's just bigger than the other one. I don't know. They seem to like that one too, but you can see there's some eating, there's some drinking. So, I think all in all, they fare pretty well. I guess we'll see. I don't know, like I said, the extra day in the box, what that's going to mean or not mean, but I guess we'll just have to see how it plays out. So this is it. This is day one of the 8 weeks these guys are going to spend here on the farm. Let's see how the next seven weeks and 6 days progresses. I'll be sure to document it as best I can. So thanks for tuning into this video. If you haven't subscribed, I would love a subscribe out of you. I think I looked at my analytics literally for the first time since starting this channel, and I think it says like 95% of the people that view my videos are not subscribed. So if you like this and want to see more like it, I would love it if you would take a minute to subscribe, give me a thumbs up and a like if you like this video, so that the algorithm will pick it up that you liked it and show it to others. Hope to see you back here soon. Thanks again for tuning in.